a specialist and digital marketer. Audrey, it's been a while. Thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me once again. How are you
It's
today?
great. Good. It's great to have you on the show. Let's talk a little bit about defining rage bait. I've described it a little bit, but how do you see it?
All right. So, the first thing people need to understand is that as marketing execs or people who generally work with social media, the main thing we are selling to people is emotion, whether it's good or it's bad. Emotion is the key to every single thing that we do on social media. Now, when it comes to rage baiting is a term that became popular because of social media and how people were using it to trigger certain reactions, specific reactions in people. At first, it started as just jokes, humor, people using dark humor. And then marketers realized that this brings traffic. The social media influencers realized that this also brings traffic, which in turn turns out to be either money through social media platforms that pay or brands wanting to work with these platforms. So rage baiting became the negative side of people being triggered to respond a certain way intentionally. And the word intentional is very important here. People will do this intentionally to get a reaction out of their audience.
Audrey, there's so many ways to, get interaction and engagement on social media, and not everybody is good at that. That's why we're all sort of trying new strategies on our social media platforms. But when it comes to rage bait in particular, what is it about rage that makes us want to interact, makes us want to go in there and increase engagement for that particular creator?
All right. So the main thing is that the most extreme of emotions are being triggered. Rage baiting doesn't necessarily work with love, because for you to feel extreme love with someone, you would have to have created a connection with them. Let's take, for example, children. When you have a cute baby that's posted on social media, people love them, but they don't have as much engagement with that person. But when it's something that's triggering, something that they know, that the person who is posting knows that this topic specifically will make people angry, there is a group of either women or men that will come with their lives. They will put their lives on the line just to defend a certain topic. That's where rage bait then comes in, the extreme of emotion. That's why they use anger mostly, because anger is one of the extremes of emotions.
Is it ethical? That's the big question here, because it feels like at moments someone is being genuine, you're not quite sure. The teary ones are the ones where you're like, I don't know, is this real pain or not? Because you literally see the extremity of someone in emotional distress, but you wonder, are they playing with my emotions or are they being for real? What do you think of the ethics of this?
All right, ethically speaking, when it comes to marketing, the moral compass is a bit shaky, but in my personal perspective, no, it's not ethically correct. People shouldn't do that. We shouldn't use people's emotions. We shouldn't rage bait people like that, because the day there's a serious issue or a serious problem, no one would take you seriously. It's like the boy that cried wolf. That's the same concept. However, it sells. At the end of the day, people want to make sales. People want the numbers. They want the brand visibility. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, that's what people would then say, okay, would I choose money or the risk to say I am the boy who cried wolf? And more times than not, because it's rare for people to then be accountable after rage baiting, they choose the money, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate, Audrey. But when it comes to content creators and the use of rage bait, as you said, once you get the engagement, then you're good to go, because you'll be getting the money versus whatever emotions that you are able to get out of people. Outside of the ethical question, if I am a content creator and I want to boost engagement, the social media platforms are allowing it, aren't they?
Yes, they are. In fact, they love it. They promote it. Why? Because it brings people, it keeps people on their platform. At the end of the day, social media platforms want people to stay on their platforms. So there's no way around it really when it comes to then asking the TikToks and Facebooks to literally just put in regulations to control what's then put out there. But I think what we can do to control this, it's a growing concern given how impactful social media is around the world, and especially for the young people. Each country needs to put in regulations. This is something that I'm going to push for, even for my country, Zimbabwe, mostly, because regulations in a country mean a social media platform can be held accountable. The people that post will be held accountable. There are certain features that are not allowed in certain countries, and those things are not even done. The moment the platform allows such things, they are also getting sued by the country of origin. So that's something that we can do as a people collectively.
Okay, Audrey, let's stay on the line. How do we watch out for this? You know, I've been seeing a trend, especially in the US. There are a few articles that have come out via the New York Times whereby there have been a few kids who actually are, it's a different subject matter. They're interacting with ChatGTP. And there was one that I read of a young boy who actually was suicidal, right? And they were interacting with ChatGTP before they actually killed themselves. And ChatGTP was actually encouraging them to do so until they actually did the act and passed away. And it's such a critical thing. I'm using this example because it's linked to this in a way that, you know, our emotions are something that are connected to other people, right? So if we use social media or even social media tools as a way to run away from the real face-to-face interactions and dealing with our emotions in that way, how do we find ourselves in a dangerous zone? Because I find these things ethically wrong, as you mentioned, but they can actually be triggering for people in a way that actually causes harm and danger. We'll continue the conversation after the break. What do you think about this one? Remember, when I get your thoughts on our WhatsApp number, +2763 406 9126. You can text us and voice note us on that WhatsApp number.
Business osiyana mdziko la South Africa ayamba kukhoma msonkho wa 30% amapulitsa katundu wawo ku dziko la United States of America. Never noted ndikatswiri waza chuma mdziko la Malawi Dr. Pesa Chikatsa. Boma la South Africa masiku apitawo linanena kuti ngati America akane kutsitsa msonkho bomalo libeza misika ina. Mungatifotokozere kuti ndizotheka South Africa kupeza misika yomwe ingabweretsa ndalama pafupi $15 billion zomwe imapezeka kusika ya ku America. Chinene kuti izizi zitha kuchitika koma sizingachitike mwafufufufu chifukwa tikaonetsetsa izi zinthu zokuti inali msika wa dziko la America nonetseka kukazikika umene dziko la South Africa linali litasowera kale. Tsono kuti tingonena kuti dziko la South Africa lipezanso msika mwina mwasangasanga kuti lizitumiza katundu wake mwina sizingachitike pacho kuti tikunena papa $15 billion ndi ndalama zambiri ndithu.
Olemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo. Channel Africa. No time to waste. Be on the move with Benjamin Mushatama and Pali Satau.
We're chatting about rage bait this morning on The Move, and we're still joined by our Zimbabwean friend, Audrey Imbayago, social media specialist and digital marketer, who's helping us unpack this particular conversation. Audrey, there's a reason why rage bait works and is effective because of the emotions, right? But can emotions get so high that this becomes dangerous to do for the creator themselves?
Yes, it is very much possible. Unfortunately, we can't go to each single person and say and check up on them and say, are you okay? And find out exactly what they're doing on their phone, because phones are private. Someone might be doing something dangerous. Number one, they might not know the effects that it has on their mind, and they might not know how far they are going to go before it becomes too late. It's like taking a drug. You don't know until it's too late. So one of the things that that I really
On the
recommend.
line. It's a very interesting one, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because social media itself, it's for engagement, it's for sharing
Yes.
stories, it's for people. Lost you for a bit there. You okay?
Yes, I'm okay. My network just glitched.
Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to you now. Just we're speaking about the human experience on social media.
Yeah.
I hear Audrey is back. Audrey, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. I know you were on your train of thought. If you can just back it up a little bit and continue there.
All right. So what I was saying is that social media and how we respond to things on our phones is different because it's like a drug. You won't realize it until it's too late that you actually got yourself in a hole that you can't dig yourself out of. So what I always recommend people to do, first of all, try and stay on the healthy side of social media. It's good to want to look for new things, find recommendations from ChatGPT, use other AI to even make your work better or your social media platform better. But remember, social media is not a real place. Always remember that. You have a real life, you have emotions, and social media is just another platform for you to interact with people, not a real
Okay,
place.
that's interesting that you say that, because it feels like more and more people are interacting with social media more emotively. I was citing a New York Times article whereby a teen who was suicidal was chatting with ChatGPT and was confiding in this ChatGPT. And I know it's a different thing, but I think it's connected with the emotional aspect and the mental health awareness issues. This boy was the name of Adam Rains. He died in April at the age of 16, and he was actually having conversations in the lead up of the suicide. And it was actually the AI tool that encouraged him to actually kill himself. Now there's a court case that's happening in the US in regards of this. But this case shows us how we are connecting ourselves with social media, right?
Yes.
What do you think are the things that we should be looking out for when it comes to things like rage bait and how we connect our emotions with social media? What should we be looking out for? Because when you started this conversation, you were like, we do use emotions as advertisers on social media. So give us a bit of a help out here, because, hey, it's a lot.
All right. So the first thing will be on the parents. We need to regulate the amount of content or the platforms that our children are on, and we need to monitor those things. Unfortunately, someone's life was lost before anyone could come up and help them. I really wish ChatGPT had a regulations or something that would warn them when someone is having weird conversations, so to speak, with the chatbot. That's the first step that these developers can take. But at the same time, bringing it home to a situation that's currently happening right now, the Alaboga situation, people are coming back on social media. So influencers are trying to apologize and say, we didn't know what was going on. Some of them are saying, we did our background check, but we didn't know it was a trafficking situation. So here's the thing. Think of social media or your phone. Think of it the same way you interact with people in person. If it was a human being right in front of you, telling you the things that you're seeing on your phone, would you respond the same way?
Yeah, it is hard. It's a tough one indeed because, social media has become a great platform for people sharing stories, but also telling their opinions. So sometimes someone would just be maybe trying to tell their opinions, but people just become hurt by that because at the end of the day, there will be polarizing opinions to yours, even though you are not intentionally rage baiting those people. So how do you tell the difference between a conversation that you generally maybe don't agree on, and maybe you and many others don't agree on that perspective, or an intentional rage bait content?
Palesa, one thing I totally love is that I keep coming back on this show and we keep having these conversations. In another episode, we spoke about boundaries and we spoke about effective communication. First of
Yes,
all,
we
you
did.
need to have your own boundaries as a person, as an individual. Have your boundaries. Know what triggers you. Know what works and what doesn't work for you. There are things that you already know. If I see this, it's going to make me want to feel some type of way. Some creators have taken the initiative to say, trigger warning, if you know you are not comfortable with this topic, please make sure that you pass over and we'll see you in the next post. But some of them, they don't do that. So you need to know your own boundaries, know your triggers, know what works for you and what doesn't. You are allowed to filter the content that you see on social media. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to consume it. Now, the second thing would be, as an individual, you need to make sure that you build your own FYP. People say, I built my FYP brick by brick, and now there's this thing
Yeah.
that's on my FYP. You build it on yourself. The more
What's
you
an FYP, guys? I don't know what
For
that is.
you page.
For you
So
page.
essentially your algorithm.
Okay, can you explain that a little bit more for our listeners?
All right, so how social media works, especially for TikTok, where you've got an algorithm that thrives on people's interactions. They say that they push content to you, they realize that you like a certain topic, and you will keep seeing that particular topic. So every individual's For You page is different. From, like, if there's a billion people on social media, on TikTok, there's a billion For You pages that are totally different. So
That's so interesting.
yes, so it's specifically made for you. So when you see content that speaks to you or that interacts with you, even if it's language, if it's culture, if it's even just basic social stories, the algorithm will push 1 or 2 posts to you. You then say, if you interact with those 2 posts, more content like that will keep coming. If you stop interacting with those posts, different content comes up on your For You page. So those are
Okay,
things that
Audrey.
people, yes.
So we have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Where can we find you? Let's not forget that and include that in the conversation if people want to get your expertise as well.
You can find me on TikTok as The Creative Marketer with the Zimbabwean flag at the end, or on LinkedIn as Audrey Tafadzwa Imbayago.
Proudly Zimbabwean, eh?
Yes.
Love that.
Audrey, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. That's social media specialist and digital marketer Audrey Imbayago. We're chatting Rage Bait and we'll continue after. Audrey, thank you so much. That was lovely.
You're most welcome. Oh my, we should have a part 2 of this one.
We should. Definitely. I agree. We'll definitely reach out.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Selena says thank you too. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye. Enjoy your day.
Bye. Same to you.
University in York.
Ndambokanganwa kuti ndavunzwa kuti chi. Ndakanganwa my second point, but I hope you guys enjoyed that session. Please be sure to engage with the Channel Africa radio. Channel Africa Radio. It's online. You can listen to it from anywhere in the world. It's a radio platform by SABC. It's owned by SABC. So yeah. And the next time we have an episode like this, I will definitely let you guys know. And I'll start recording as well. There's a lot that we spoke about on this radio show that I haven't recorded. So I'm going to start recording and posting it for you guys.